Thoughts on Spider-Man No Way Home? Well, all of Phase 4 Marvel has been really garbage so far. We started out with really meh TV show that was WandaVision that I would just call a mess. Then we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which just ended with them pretending that America's the most racist country in the world when it's really not. And that was annoying. That was basically the point where I decided to check out. Then Loki came along and said there was no free will in the MCU ever until that moment right there, at the very end of the season. And that's like completely universe breaking. I don't know how you could be invested in the MCU after something that major, but fine. If you liked it, whatever. And Black Widow, not a very good origin movie from what I hear. Origin wasn't an origin film. Takes place during Civil War, whatever. Could have been a great tactical espionage, like spy movie thriller, and instead they went the generic Marvel superhero route with lots of nonsense and CGI. Shang-Chi just came out, and that could have been, like, Shang-Chi was supposed to be the Bruce Lee of the MCU, so it could have been a really cool, like, kung fu movie or whatever, and instead they decided to go full generic Marvel formula CGI fest like they do with everything else. So, Phase 4 is a dumpster fire. Not looking forward to pretty much anything in it. Like I said, I checked out with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the truth. I've been gone ever since. Just been kind of listening to how the rest of it's going. But I'm still pretty excited for Spider-Man. I saw, I guess, I don't know if it's accurate to say the first Spider-Man at this point. But I saw Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie. I think I was like 7 when that first came out, something like that. Or I guess I would have been 9. I saw that in the theater 3 times, each time wearing a different Spider-Man t-shirt. I loved that movie. And the second one, I don't like as much as everybody else, but it was still pretty good. The third one I liked way more than everyone else, but I also see the cringe, you know? I think looking back on it, it's actually a lot better than what we're getting nowadays from Marvel. And it's probably underrated for the time. But I'm not really going to get into that a whole lot. I could be wrong. Haven't watched it in a long time. So, who knows? Liked it. You can like it or hate it. Doesn't matter. The Amazing Spider-Man, not so great. I liked the first one, sort of, not as much as Tobey Maguire, but at the time, I thought it was a pretty cool representation of, Peter Parker. Not that it was great. I mean, he was kind of too cool to be Peter Parker. But at the same time, it's a different actor, different take on the character and all this stuff. At the time, I was just happy to get more Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. Loved the costume. The costume was great. But Electro sucked. Green Goblin sucked. The weird conspiracy stuff with the parents just sucked. It was just not a good movie. Not good. Not good. But regardless, looking at the No Way Home trailer, or I guess we've only got the teaser so far, I'm actually really excited for that. As much as I haven't been excited for anything Marvel after Falcon and Winter Soldier dropped its fucking turds all over the internet, I'm actually sort of looking forward to this. Turn off the old CB. Sort of looking forward, well, I can't say sort of. I'm actually kind of hyped for it, as long as they really do bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. As much as I didn't care for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and as much as I can recognize it is just a gimmick, it's just jangly keys, jangling the old member berries in front of everybody, saying, hey, we've got the old stuff, like what Star Wars did. Hey, we've got the old stuff back. That's what you want to see, right? And possibly just taking cues from Into the Spider-Verse, which was pretty good, admittedly. Really enjoyed that one. And as long as it's good, I don't care. But I don't really trust Marvel to make a good movie at this point. It's all just kind of the same. It's just like sludge. It's the Marvel sludge at this point. CGI fest, nonsense, stories that don't make any sense. But whatever. It looks cool. And at this point, I'm not invested in the universe anymore. I've quit. After Endgame, Endgame did some bad stuff to Cap's character, just at the very end, I would say. And overall I enjoyed it, but recognize there's lots of issues with it. No writer ever since has wanted to do anything with the 5-year blip that Endgame brought up. You know, that gap there. Nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to do anything with it. Fine, whatever. But I can't be invested in the universe anymore. I want to see some cool Spider-Man shit. And whenever Doctor Strange comes out, hopefully that'll be good. There's some rumors that he might just get his ass kicked by Wanda, and then she'll just be like, oh, I learned a lesson. I'm a good guy now. And that would be terrible. But overall, I just not excited for the larger universe anymore. I think everybody should check out of it, to be honest with you. Go see the movies that you like, and don't let them fool you into thinking the overall universe picture matters anymore. It just doesn't. They do so many world-breaking things in the more recent stories that just... Did you see Captain Marvel? All right. They don't care how you feel about the previous movies. They really don't. That's not a movie that exactly helped the movies that came after it either, because they had to shove her into Endgame, and ultimately her movie didn't add anything. It took away anything. It took away from Nick Fury's his mysterious past or whatever. Like, last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye, and there's a cat. He got his eyes scratched out by a cat. It's great script right there. Anyway, so my point is, I think you should just kind of watch whatever movies you want. Just don't buy just anything that they put out there now, because they're putting out a bunch of crap. And I'd say tune out for all the stuff that you're not really interested in, because the overall universe stuff just isn't... It's not tying together that well. It's not. It doesn't tie together well anymore. So, but if you go and see the ones that you actually like, if people just as a whole would do that, if we'll all go see the ones we see interest in, like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and whatever, they'll see that. It's voting with your wallet, you know. So they'll see, oh, people are actually buying into these characters, and they're really not interested in these other ones that we've put out, like Shang-Chi, the triumph of a movie that it's supposed to be. Supposedly is, but not really, because it's just another generic movie. I really hope No Way Home is good. I hope it's great. I hope we don't just get cameos from, like, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I hope they're in it for a large percentage of the time. I hope they're main characters. There's a rumor that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he might get sacrificed or whatever. I'd say as long as they do it respectfully, and it's a really good send-off for him and everything, I think it could be okay. But that all comes down to the execution of it, and they haven't executed any of their quote-unquote good ideas in a while very well. So, not a whole lot we can expect out of it, I don't think. Sam Raimi's doing Doctor Strange. Why isn't he doing this one? He would have been the perfect director for this movie. At least consult with him or something on directing Tobey Maguire's part. Right? I think that'd be great. But at this point, I'm just rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And, yeah. Probably going to do some more content like this here and there, just in my spare time. So, hit like, subscribe, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Are you checked out of the MCU too? I sure am. I'm checked out of the U in the MCU. How about that? I'll take some of the MC, less of the U. Thanks.